And here we are again with the What Now series. It is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is 9 p.m. Amsterdam time. So that means it's time for another check-in with a creative person, and today that is Keyon Harrold, my guest. I am waiting for him to get on so we can talk about how he's doing during this still going on crisis. Hope everyone is okay, staying safe, staying healthy, and keeping their distance, staying stocked up with groceries, being healthy, getting your immune systems up, and hopefully you won't get it, but it seems like a lot of people are getting hit now. And I actually know some people that are in the hospital and that are suffering from very bad symptoms. So hopefully they will pull through. Hey, Curtis. And everyone else is slowly coming in. Let me check with Keyon and see if he's ready to jump in here. Curtis, we're going to have to do ours over as well. Apparently, when we had our talk, that was the day and the time that Instagram was upgrading their servers, which is why we got interrupted. What's up, yo RNC snaps? And yeah, so we're going to have to do our talk as well. Hope everyone is being okay. Waiting on Keyon to get here. And oh, cool. What's up, Ron? Yeah, what's up, Aisha? And Keyon should be on his way soon. There he goes. Let me see if he can send me a request. There he goes. All right, then. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. And like I just announced, the next guest today is Keyon. Welcome.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on?
Hello, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good.
We haven't talked in a minute, but yeah, I see you got your sharp-looking glasses on.
Specs.
Your hair grew.
My hair is growing like crazy because I can't get to no barber right now.
Nobody can.
I'm staying in, and
right.
I'm cool with that as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, we're all trying to stay in. I can't get to my hair salon either, so I've been doing my hair myself. But I do need a haircut as well. Mine is getting long.
It's all good.
So one of the motivations for me to start this talk is to motivate and inspire others, staying creative and stay at work while this pandemic is going on, this lockdown, this isolation. A lot of artists have lost income. They were supposed to tour. They're basically frustrated and not knowing what to do. So these talks are actually helping people, stay on the right path. And I know that you were supposed to come over here again next month.
Yeah.
And I was so upset. I was like, finally, I can go see his show. And then now it's like, it's canceled. So
just for a couple of months. Hopefully
that's
we'll
true.
be there.
That's true.
Hopefully in the fall,
Yeah, the fall is all booked up now because all the shows are now moving to fall.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy fall.
Yeah.
What has been the biggest impact for you with this shutdown? Has it been shows, or are there also projects that fell through? Or
you know what? The idea of this pandemic is so, I guess, mystifying because it's so many things connected. This world is interconnected in a way that nobody really expected. So many things affect other things, obviously as a musician, as an artist, one of the first things that came about was all of the gigs getting canceled,
right.
all of the shows, disappearing, immediately for me. Even before, people started staying home from work and whatnot, it was like, okay, you know what? you can't come to Europe right now, or I had a
Right.
gig in Brazil or whatever. All of those were gone. And I felt it immediately, you know, the day that they were like, you know what, we got to shut down. Then, you
Yeah.
know, that's the first thing. And then, you know, realizing that, you know, life goes on in spite
Yeah.
of, you know,
Yeah.
gigs being canceled. So you got to start to be creative, you know.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. So one of the comforts is, well, I'm not the only one going through this. You know, I'm not the only one that's losing out
Mm-hmm.
in this
It's
entertainment industry.
everybody. And
It's
that's the
everyone.
thing. You
Everyone
know,
is affected.
on some level, unless you're the person who discovers, you know, the solution to it, or the, you
Yeah.
know, finds an anecdote, or, you know, sells PPE, you know.
Yeah. Then
So
yeah, it's been heavy on a lot of people, but I've also noticed that most of the people that I've talked to, which is probably also the reason why I seek them out, because they're staying active and they
mm-hmm.
find ways to stay creative, to keep working, to find collaborations. So what has been one of the new things that you now finally figured out, like, hey, now I have the time to do this, or now I can finally do that?
Seriously, you know, that's a good question. There's so many things that I'm always running around. You know that about me. I'm always going, traveling or whatever. Since I'm home, I have a lot of time to read. Right now I'm just doing a lot of stuff with, like, a lot of you know, film scoring stuff, you know.
Oh, cool.
Really studying scores, you know, practicing, you know, writing cues and different things, as well as production. Also just really studying a lot of, like, film stuff right now. Just things that I've always been interested in, that I'm getting the opportunity to actually just try, you know, being able to sit in one place. What else? A lot of collaboration. I'm doing a lot of teaching, you know, online, a lot of mobile recording, a lot of mobile collaborations that are really, really cool. And my own stuff as well. So
so the film stuff, because I know the film industry is also basically shut down. So are those projects that were still laying there, or is it not projects, but just you trying to get up on your skills or on your interest, or are there actually solid projects that are now ready for you to work on and maybe being postponed?
A lot of things are just postponed. You know, as far as, like, the film stuff, I'm literally I've always been interested in it. So I'm just like, you know, let me dig in. Let me see what this person's saying about it. You know, let me read this book. Let me, you know, check out this person's scoring and stuff like that. Like, with a fine-tooth comb. So when everything comes back, you know, I'll be ready for another opportunity. You know, as an artist, our job is to over and over again reinvent yourself. All the greatest always reinventing themselves, from Miles Davis to, you know, the great directors to you know, musicians, artists. Everybody was always trying to repurpose what is, or repurpose opportunities. So, you know, in this time, you know, I had an opportunity to practice and play and write, and, you know, try to reinforce that with, you know, with another dimension of what I already do. So
that's a nice way to say that. So there hasn't really been a moment for you where you're like, oh no, you instantly were like, okay, now I get to do all of this.
Well, you know what, it kind of, you know, kind of runs the course. You sitting at home and you like, I got all this extra time, you know. When I talk to younger people, like younger musicians, for instance, I'll play and they'll want to take a lesson, or they'll want to have a conversation after a show. And, you know, one of the things is I'll tell them, I'll be like, you know, you should just take this time before you have kids, before you get married, before you fall in love, before, you know, you turn into a professional musician and you're touring all the time, to just practice, or to just follow your bliss and learn as much as you possibly can. You know, that is what I'm taking literally at this point now. Right now, even though I got a kid and I'm chilling, it's like I have the opportunity. I feel like I'm in college right now, and I'm actually saying, you know what, I'm going to learn this. I'm going to take this on. I'm going to study this, because the minute, you know, everything opens up again, I'm on the planes, I'm traveling, I'm gone. I don't have that time. So I'm really, you know, really loving the opportunity to really just hone something and learn, like learn, you know,
it's something
actively
that
learning.
it's something that everyone is basically saying, like everybody's either perfecting their craft or studying their business, learning new things, finding new creative ways to push their art, because you know now it's all the online channels and the live streams and whatnot. But there are also people that may not have that brain. Right. And, you know, and I've seen a lot of things, especially we're like in the 4th week now. A lot of people are like, well, you shouldn't feel bad if you don't learn new things. Now, I'm a person, I have so much things I want to do. So even if I didn't have anything to do, I would learn all kinds of things, but I'm still busy too. How do you stay mentally okay aside from the creativity, like the being cooped up inside? Takes its toll on even creative people. You know, you're out to perform normally. You mingle with a lot of people. You deal with a lot of people. You have all this personal interaction. How do you convert that to still being social and staying okay with that?
You know, that's always the challenge with everybody. I mean, as an artist, first of all, you know, when I go out and play, usually people are, you know, coming to see me. So it's kind of like, it's not really social, it's work to me. Right. Now things are like I can, you know, choose, you know, the things that I'm taking on or the people that I'm interacting with, which is cool. So I miss performing, you know, some of the stuff that goes on with the idea of performing, the logistics, getting places, and that's a whole nother, you know, conversation. So I don't really miss that, and it's good to have a break from it for a while for me. But I'm staying, you know, really, really connected to, you know, seeing how things are evolving with people, seeing how the industry is changing more so than anything. The idea of going online, the idea of, okay, why am I going online? Is it to present something, or is it only because I'm bored? You know, because if I continually present something, even just because I'm bored, are other people going to be bored by watching it? You know,
that's very good.
You know, it's like, how do you make it cool? So I'm trying to figure out, the next time I go live, I want to figure out how to make it cool for people to be interested. And also, you know, on the line of saying that, okay, if I perform every day online, will people want to see me after this is over with? So it's, you know, it's a fine line.
Interesting.
It's a fine line, you know, with that. So trying to do that. And since I'm always trying to be creative, you know, I don't really get bored, like in that way. Maybe I get bored, like I miss going outside, but I'm always, you know, ready to either, you know, to pick up my instrument, which is right here, or, you know, make a beat, or, you know, think about trying to write a movie. Even though I've never done it, but why not?
Hey, why not? Yeah.
It's a good time, you know, to really, you know, try stuff and try to, you know, try to be creative. You know, I try to find a person who inspires me. Like if you look at Leonardo da Vinci, you know, and all those people, they were universal people, universal men. And I'm like, at this point, I'm trying to redefine what my artistry looks like. Because when I look at that artistry, it wasn't just him as a painter.
That's true.
It wasn't just him as a, you know, as a weapons maker. He was everything, you know. So as, you know, most people know me as a trumpet player, but I'm not just that. I produce music. I write music. I sing. You know, I do whatever. So I'm always trying to craft that in a way that's, you know, easier for me to get my soul to people. So, you know, I don't really get bored at the opportunity of not being able to go anywhere. To me, it's like I'm catching up with everything that I've been thinking about for the last 10 years.
Yeah, I know.
And now I actually have time to really just, you know,
do it,
write it out, you know, think about it, you know, try it out without, you know, the you know, the hustle and bustle of having to go perform, having to leave, you know, having to meet up with the people, having to get people together.
Find the time,
It's time. I have the opportunity to listen to what's going on in my brain. And act on it.
Well, I guess you're one of the lucky ones, because not everybody has that. But this, to me, this is very inspiring as well. I've been doing these talks to inspire myself also. I'm not going to sit here and lie. But also, I think one of the things that's interesting that you said is you think about, okay, if I'm going to do something like this live stuff, what value does it have? That's really the question. I woke up in the middle of the night, thought of this idea because there were so many people in my surrounding that were frustrated, didn't know what to do. And oh my gosh, frustration, income gone. So I came up with this idea and I didn't even know how. I just did it and it became its own thing. Yeah. Because I mean, I have nothing to lose. I'm at home. You just turn your phone on and see who wants to talk. And you already know my background is music journalism. So for me, it comes naturally. But there's so many different perspectives from the different people that I talk to. But one of the big lines that everybody says is, well, doing the things that you always wanted to do, finding the time to work on yourself, invest in your craft, in your skills, in your business. And other people also said that it's now the time where everyone is sitting still. So do that collaboration that you always want to do. Hit up that producer or that artist that you want to collaborate with. Is that something that you do as well? Like, do you find new people? Do you have a way of searching out new artists or anybody creative that you want to work with? Is that now also a time that you take out now because you have more time?
Absolutely. I mean, for me specifically, I'm not a person who teaches a lot. I mean, I'll go around and I'll do clinics sometimes, but I haven't been an active teacher. And I've been doing that more, which has been cool. Yeah. Because I've learned a lot just doing that. And gotten a lot of inspiration from that, which has been really, really cool for me. Also collaborating once again with a lot of artists that I wouldn't normally collaborate with because I just don't have the time. Right. Now I have more time to, I can record stuff from home. Typically I'm always in the studio, so this gives me time to say, okay, I can work on that, or I can, pay more attention to certain things. Which is a beautiful thing. I don't really, it's a luxury right now as far as that. I miss, being with people. Obviously, I always miss being with people, but the idea of this, isolation, this, solitary kind of being, it makes you totally rethink things, and you can pay more, really, really close detail, and I'm really enjoying that. As far as working with people, it's kind of like, I don't know, since it's kind of apocalyptic, you kind of wonder how you're going to come out. Yes. What's going to happen, whenever this is over, will I actually even be viable? Or will the music that I've created actually be valuable in that time? And that's the...
I believe so. Music is universal. Music is ageless, especially your music is timeless. So, well, I'm not just saying that. I mean, anybody can just, your music has no timestamp on it. It's not trendy. It's timeless. So, and music is always needed, no matter what age we're living in or what situation the world is in. Yes, indeed. Sin says it's healing. And I truly believe that this is the time where artists can put out art, whether it's a painting, whether it's music, whether it's whatever it is. Art is necessary for people to cope. And this is definitely a time where people need that type of stuff. Like if there was any time like today, this is the time where we should realize how much we need art, even though the whole art and entertainment industry is shut down. And, somebody else said it in one of the other talks, the best art and the best music comes forth out of struggle. Absolutely. And this is in some form a struggle, even though you're like enjoying it. It's still some type of struggle to be in this social weird situation.
Absolutely. To me, with that that comes out to me as a test of character. in it all. To me, coming out of this situation and also being able to stay motivated to create is a test of character. And if you can get through it, because some people don't really do it for, you know, I don't know, you
for the passion.
You find out what people's motivations really are at the end of the day, and in situations like this, you know, you know,
that's in everything. That's in everything, not just the art, but just you get to know your friends now.
Absolutely, you get to know what the real story is,
what people are made of. Yeah,
exactly. And do I really need to be working with you when this comes back? You know, or just whatever. Like, it's so many different facets to it. So being able to actually, I guess my journey right now in this whole thing is coming out of it with something more refined and even more special. Since I've had time to actually think about it, time to actually, literally search it out and be like, you know what? I feel like I need another dimension. I feel like I don't know, maybe this needs to be simpler, you know, or maybe it only needs to be, I don't know, maybe it only needs to be on vinyl, or maybe it only needs to be whatever. Not whatever that is, I have the ultimate time to put it together in a way that is just not, you know, it's not just messing around. It's not just not just handing it out. Because I also hear a lot of people just saying, you know what, let me just put it out right now. And you're like, why?
If it's not strategically well thought, maybe not. But it's something you put your blood, sweat, and tears in. So don't just throw it out. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's like a relationship. It's like a commitment. And it's like, commit all the way. Don't just give up, you know, with the whole.
True. One of the things somebody just said, I think it was my friend Curtis, he said that you're more than just good music. And that's what you're showing now in your words. Like, you're more than just your music. Sin just said that she's a nurse. Thank you for your services, Sin. I'm sorry about not having seen your son in 2 weeks, but you're doing a great job and we will all come out of this better. To circle back to what you just said on you wanting to come out this different, more refined. I believe that whether you're a creative person or not, every person in this world that's going through this should come out a better version of themselves. If anything, it doesn't have to be a lot better, but something, because the world wasn't working the way we were doing things, the way we were. So in my opinion, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're an artist or a nurse or, you know, a housewife. It doesn't matter. This is the time to sit and think about what you want to contribute to this world when we can go out in the world again, and how we're going to preserve nature, environment, humanity, in general. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, aside from all the music and the creativity, is what are you doing for your health at this point? Because gyms are closed, restaurants are closed. What is your routine in being physically and mentally healthy as far as gym, workout, food intake? How does that look for you?
Right now, it could be better. I have to be honest. But honestly, a couple times a week, we're definitely doing P90X, you know, trying to stay fit, try to get outside, try to walk a couple steps, trying to jump on the trampoline a little bit. Eating wise, I could do better. Really
we all can, I think.
You know, it's a process.
Are you cooking?
I'm not cooking. No. Not saying I can't, but I don't.
You're not the one that does.
There's a much better cook.
Yeah. Good.
So yeah, but no, just trying to, I don't know, trying to stay connected with everybody. You know, as much as possible, but at the same time, respecting the solitude. Yeah. You know, I think it's very, you know, honesty has a way of finding you, and honesty has a way of, you know, basically, I would say it's almost like holding the trigger, you know, holding a gun to your head and saying, you know what, you either going to live or you're going to die. Which one do you choose? And this time, it really is the test of character. It really is the I don't know, it's what is the story? How do you define yourself? What's the story? And if you have a story in this kind of time, this will, you know, it'll be like being tried in the fire. This will show you that this is, you know, you're that one, you're that person, no matter what you do.
Right.
We're all in that, you know, the race to, you know, present our story in whatever way, whether that be on picture, whether that be, you know, on paper, whether that be through music or whatever, you know, is how do you stay sane? You know, what's happening? You know, how do you stay hopeful? How do you, you know, are you meditating? Are you praying? You know, are you, you know, trusting in whatever higher source that you believe in? You know, are you looking at life and looking at humanity? You know, and seeing that, okay, there is great people out here and there are assholes. And how do we, you know, when our hands are tied behind the back, how do we fight against that? Is it in words? Is it in music? You know, so I'm motivated by much of that. So, you know, when I see, when I see despair, I want to, you know, I want to be the person to rush in.
Well, you do that with your music, definitely. You know, I found out, well, my experience is that people that have the hardest time being in the house with themselves are people that are scared to be confronted with themselves and to look in the mirror, whether it's them not processing potential trauma that they've lived, whether it's their own issues that they're afraid to deal with. You know, there's a lot of mental health issues coming along with this isolation. And like I said, most of the people that I have talked to that are frustrated are people that are not good with being by themselves. True. Well, I've been long good with being by myself because I was always alone. I had to face myself. And so I've dealt with my demons and, you know, they're still there, but they know their place. So this is really helpful for a lot of people. And I've said it before, even if you don't know any music, pick up lessons, get a guitar, or start writing, write down, journal. Journaling is always one of the best therapy methods there is. Start drawing. I can only draw stick figures, but it doesn't matter. Start drawing. If that's a way to express your anxiety or your fears and frustration, then put it out there. You don't have to be good to make it work for yourself, because in the end, like you said, you will find out who's in it for what. Art is not necessarily for other people. It's in the first place, it's something that is in you that you need to bring out. And if you can help others with that, and if others understand it or interpret it to their terms, that's beautiful. Agreed. And that is something that you do very well. I saw somebody from Brazil asking, when are you coming to Brazil? Kind of a weird question since we can't really go anywhere. So I'm sure.
Actually, I'll tell you, at the moment, you know, I was literally supposed to be there when the whole pandemic cracked. Like, I was supposed to be in Brazil from the 21st of March until the 29th.
So that got pushed back?
Canceled. So, but right now, that is being rescheduled to August. So hopefully I'll be there in August of everything, you know, praying that I'll be there in August.
What's up, Tony?
Tony.
Tony's in there. Okay, Tony made me lose my thoughts. So worst case scenario, we're still locked in for the next 12 months. What can we expect from you? Because we were just talking about people just throwing out music for the hell of it. What would your plan be if at this point, all of 2020, you will not be able to do shows? Are you going to put out music?
Of course. I mean, I'm going to be putting out music anyway.
Right.
My thing is, people do what they want. Do what you want. That's all good. But I just, at certain things I question, timing, because timing is everything.
Yes.
And it's like, if you've been sitting on a gold mine of a project and you feel that, you know, tomorrow's the day, then do it. But if it's the kind of thing to where you're like, listen, this thing is, you know, I need lights, camera, action behind me. You know, I want to put this record out so people can buy it. I want to put this album out so I can actually tour it. So
Right.
why would you put it out now if nobody has heard it before?
Right.
You know, if people, typically what people don't know doesn't hurt them, but it will
Right.
hurt you.
Yeah.
So if if you're sitting on a major investment, don't just put it out at a time like this. You know,
Right.
let some time flow by. And when the market opens up again, you know, hit them.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to introduce some things, talk about it, cool. But don't just spill your guts just because.
Just because, yeah.
You know, if there's a major purpose, or there's a kind of like, I have a song that's going to come out like hopefully in the next couple of days, that it's like it's a time-based song. So
Right.
it's not really like, okay, it's the work I've been working on for the last year, something that was inspired, you know,
Right.
over this kind of situation.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, one of my own artists, she's actually releasing an album next week, and that has
Mm-hmm.
been in the pipeline. So we just
Mm-hmm.
figured we're not going to postpone it because
Mm-hmm.
of this. We're just going to put it out, and then
So if that's the thing, and
Yeah.
you can, you know, monetize
Yeah.
on you know, on the plan that you had, then
Right.
cool. You know,
Yeah.
if the idea is just, let me just put it out to see what happens, that's one thing. But if you're like, you know, I have a tour, you know, set up, or I can potentially put a tour behind
Right.
me. I can potentially, you know, sell all this merch or whatever,
Yeah.
or I can get to the people. I need to touch to people. I need to,
The songs
you know,
itself are
it's,
just,
you know,
healing and what's
obviously, you know, there will be a new structure in how the music business is, you know,
it will change. Yeah.
ran, obviously. So we're waiting to see how that goes. But, you know, the same time, timing is everything.
Yes.
Timing is everything.
But the thing is that we can't really plan right now. Like
Exactly.
even the stuff that you rescheduled, it's still
We don't
not.
know.
It's still
We don't
not
know.
a
That's why
confirmation
I'm like
of it.
this. I'm like, I'm hoping.
Right.
You
We're
know,
all
they opened Wuhan today.
Yeah, speaking it into existence, that hopefully we will see Keyon perform wherever you are. Then another thing, we were just talking about collaborations. People, I'm sure you get a lot of people hitting you up for collaborations as well. Mm-hmm. Do you now have more time to go through everything that's being sent to you?
I do. And I get it, you know, from the people who, I mean, Instagram and Facebook just makes people more accessible.
Yeah.
So especially in a time like this when everybody has time.
Yeah, everybody's home.
People are like, you know what? I love the way you played on, you know, with Maxwell. Why don't you play on my album?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I don't know. You know,
we'll have to see.
You know, well, but sometimes you'll find somebody that you're like, whoa, that's amazing. You know what? I've been looking for you. You know what? We can help each other, kind of.
Right.
So, you know, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. So where can people find your tour dates that are being rescheduled? Your website?
They will be on my website.
Okay.
You know, once things are confirmed and you know, looking solid. Yeah. So, you know,
we're just gonna have to keep rescheduling it. That's okay. We're here, you know.
You know, and I promise you, I cannot wait to get back to the stage. I can't wait to play. You know, seriously, because that's my heart. That's my motivation.
Yeah.
You know, but it's also, you know, the universe has a way of saying, you know what, take some time.
Sit down,
Sit down,
reevaluate.
Yeah. Right. And just, you know, just be for a while. Because, you know, honestly, I can't remember the last time I had enough time to just
do what you want to do.
Not just that, and not do anything.
Right.
You know. So
that's good too. Just not doing anything. Just relax.
Listen to the wind, you know, listen to the birds, listen to, you know,
walking outside and just enjoy a walk.
Exactly. So, you know,
it's not always about using this time to always do all kinds of stuff and find new ways and being creative. Sure, it's great to stay creative, but trust me, I've caught up on some sleep.
Oh, and that, you know what? And the body needs that almost
Yes.
more than it needs you being creative. Because if you're
Yeah.
not here, what's the point? So,
Well, yeah, that's also part of building your immune system in case that virus comes across your path.
exactly.
Sleeping heals your body and strengthens the body, and including, you know, nutrition. And, you know, like I said, there's a few people that I know now that are hospitalized, and I'm desperately praying for them to pull through. And I don't want to be in that position. I don't want to have anybody worried. So I'm staying in the house, only going out for necessary things and keeping my distance. Yeah. Are there any words that you would like to say to people who are still dealing with, oh my gosh, I'm home? What is the one thing that you can tell them?
I would say, take the time, if you can, to honestly listen to your heart, and go with that. You know, you never really know where the heart is going to take you. It may be where you least expect it, but go there and give it an opportunity, because you actually have the time to do it. And, you know, for me, honestly, I'm discovering more and more that, you know, when you really see the idea of mortality right next to you, you start to choose, and you're able to edit, like, what's really important. So if you can listen to your heart and superimpose that to the idea, expiration date on all of us, you know, you start to say, okay, I don't need to do that. I feel like I must do this if I don't do anything else.
Right.
You know what? I must love that person, or I must get away from that person. I must, you know, do this project, or I must, you know, get away from, you know, I should probably not go back to that job. You know.
Oh my gosh,
so,
yes.
You know, at this time, if you can be honest with yourself, it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of time to be quiet, to quiet all the nerves, quiet all the stress, to quiet all the people, to quiet everything, to just be able to be like, you know what, this is what's real.
Yeah.
If you can discover that about yourself, I think that is, you know, I think that's winning the game.
Yeah.
And that will show you, okay, after this is over with, or while we're getting over this, I can do this. I can develop myself. I can develop my thought. I can develop my eating habits, or whatever that is for you. You know, it can ultimately fulfill who you are.
Yes.
You know.
And if I can jump into that, when you said it takes a while to quiet the noise and quiet everything, especially the social pressure. Because what we have learned now is that there is no guarantee of a job. There is no failure when you don't have the income of a job. So if you're stuck in a place that makes you unhappy, now is the time to not be in that place, because you don't know how long you have. Life is short. You don't want to be stuck in there just because you're scared of not being able to pay your bills, or because you're scared that you may not find another job, or that you're scared that you may not want to follow your passion because you might fail at it. And we now see that it doesn't matter. All the security that we have known all our lives is gone.
In a day.
And we're still here.
Seriously.
We're still alive.
In a day. Everything was shaken up.
Yeah.
You know, in entire industries.
Yes.
In ways that you never really thought as to.
Right. Entire society.
You know, and then you start to really learn and see what's actually standing, you know, which is, you know, shout out to the first responders, because you start to see, you know, what's important, what's not important, you know, and that really is defined really, really quickly. You know, when things are just shaken up in a way that nobody ever expected, you know. Right. And that's, you know, when I drop this song, you'll see it's definitely that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
It's called Upside Down Heroes. I did it the other day, kind of a thing for Worldwide Health Organization.
Oh,
they did a benefit, and thank God they raised $2.7 million for healthcare workers.
Oh, that's great.
Which is a beautiful thing. The other day, so I'll be releasing that probably.
That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to, you know, inspire us with your words and your thoughts, and
hope so.
And motivate
it's my
us.
pleasure.
Thank you for your music. Even if we can't see you live, the music is still there. We can stream it, we can buy it, we can listen to it. And I'm definitely looking forward to you possibly doing live stream concerts. Or
I definitely will.
Yeah.
It just got to be cool.
I know. I'm patient. We're not doing anything, so it's not like there's a rush. And definitely looking forward to all the other projects. I'm very interested in seeing how you do in the film world, and you know, I support you with whatever you do, because I know you're going to be great at it. Thanks again, man, and stay safe and healthy, and stay creative.
Will do. You too.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks for having
in.
me. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope to see y'all again real soon.
Yes, I see everyone. I don't always want to cut into the conversation to address everyone, but thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And everyone stay safe. Sin, you do a great job. Stay safe as well. And hopefully I'll see you with my next talk. And Keyon, we'll talk soon again.
All right. Peace and love.
Love you.
Later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.